Alright guys, just wanted to make this quick video to take a look at the market and see where we're at right now. Obviously, we've had a pretty good run up so far, and we've really struggled to break through the 9k level. Probably a little bit of a psychological resistance, everybody looking to post Vegeta memes a little bit too early, and yeah, we've had a pullback. I was really looking for us to have another pop up after we had this explosion out of this consolidation triangle, because that was a really big build up on that triangle. I thought we were going to break a fair bit higher than that, but obviously it didn't really happen. I'll just draw it in so everyone can see what I'm talking about. This one that was through here, and we played this one over the weekend in the Altcoin Mastery Bootcamp down in Melbourne. Obviously that popped up and exploded out the top. We got a nice trade on that one, but basically, the market's really struggled to have a second leg up and really hit the targets that we were looking for off this rally. I thought it was going to go a fair bit higher, and probably so did most other people, which is why we're having a pullback. So what's happened is we've actually had a pullback, and it's tagged perfectly the 5.8 level, which is pretty much our weekly support and resistance zone. So if we go out, just look at our weekly order block, which is back here. We managed to have a really strong end of last week, and bulls managed to push it out over the point of resistance, and we flipped that into support. So now we're coming back, and we're just flipping that previous resistance into support now. Obviously we needed to have a sell-off in our 4 hour because we're oversold both stochastics and also the RSI. So having a pullback now, we're almost back into the oversold region. So now what we can be looking for is this to finish overselling. If we can hold this level here, our 5.8 level, and we can start to come back up out the top of the oversold region back into the purple band, which is our normal trading range. We get a momentum push on the 4 hour. And we're looking for that to line up with a momentum push on the 1 hour, which has been stuck to the bottom for a while. And we could see that it was pretty bearish the entire time, just couldn't get out of the oversold range. So we'll probably pump up now because we're going to have a bit of a bounce here by the looks of it. It looks like we're getting a perfect Morningstar reversal pattern on the hourly, on Ethereum and also on BTC. So I just longed this in the bottom here because it actually perfectly held our order block actually to pretty much the dollar, and now we're bouncing off that, and this is a nice little reversal candlestick pattern called a Morningstar reversal. That's where we have a red candle going down, a green candle at the bottom, which is a doji, and then we have a green candle again going back up, and we just need to see this close in 24 minutes, more than 50% of the way back up on the bearish candle, right? So once we get that confirmation of reversal pattern for our candlesticks, and then we could see this come back up at least, to do a bearish retest at 8.6, I would expect, and then it's either going to fail from there or we're going to break back in, and this will be what we call a Judas swing to get over the top of this. The other area of resistance which it could fail at as well is we do have a little hourly order block on this guy here, which sort of provided a little bit of support a few times for us. So it has been confirmed and tested. So this could be an area 8.618, around that space there. Could be a point where it basically fails and comes back down. So we could do something like this. Bounce back up, Morningstar gets put in, failure here, come back here, failure here, and then we break back down and bounce off this level possibly. If this level here doesn't hold, because that's been a trend line for a while now, and then we failed to hold this weekly order block, which is now was resistance, now flipped into support, that's going to get pretty ugly, and I would expect us probably to fail the 7.5k level as well, and we might have a big flush coming through. But I don't think this is the top just yet. We could come back down and test this level here, and that could basically see us form a big rising wedge, which we would expect to have at least 5 bounces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll either go up or down. So it's going to be interesting to see how this resolves, this wedge. Usually rising wedges resolve to the downside. So we could see this go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, come up here, bounce maybe off like 5.5k possibly, and then come back through and get rejected and back down here, and then we take off. And this could see us put in a big consolidation pattern and move sideways for the next couple of months, which will probably be giving alts a little bit of a chance to get back off the bottom and have some breathing room for a while. But what I am looking for is oversold regions to come out of the 4 hour on our RSI, stochastics RSI, sorry. Because we already have our daily stochastics RSI getting ready to push. So if we get a 4 hour stochastics RSI push, that's timed with our 1 hour and our daily, because our daily momentum is already moving up. It's starting to look like it could dip back, but that does happen a fair bit when we have our 4 hour pullback, which we're experiencing at the moment. So we have our 4 hour pullback, that's coming back. What I'm going to be looking for is a 1 hour push timed with a 4 hour push, which is going to come out and curl around the bottom here and then break through, and then time that as well with our daily momentum, which is already entering normal ranges. So let's see how this plays out. It's not the end of the world yet. Obviously there is a fair few levels of support through here. If we look here, just basic support levels from the structure that we're in at the moment. This is a pretty strong level here as well, and obviously being the green supply zone that was flipped into, obviously now this is a demand zone. Our support and resistance flip level from the weekly order block, that's always going to be quite strong as well. So expecting this to hold for now. Let's see how it plays out over the next couple of hours and days for the rest of the week. But this could be a red week on the charts, because we just had a fair few green weeks in a row. So we might have to have a little red pullback, similar to possibly what we saw here after the big explosion out. We had a few sideways red weeks that didn't really do much, gave us a chance to reset our daily momentum indicator and our 4 hours, and we might have to see that happen here. So we might go sideways for a bit and then pump. We could also easily come back to 7.5 as well and rest on this weekly resistance, which is probably not what we want to see at the moment. I would much rather see it come up to challenge this daily resistance up here at 10k and the weekly resistance up here at 11,500, and then go sideways on top of here. That would be a lot more bullish for me. But we've had a pretty good run. Can't take that for granted, that's for sure. The weekly is entering the oversold region, the overbought region for the first time since we have been inside this bull market, since we have entered our bear market in 2017. So this is the first time that we've entered back into the overbought regions, which is a really good sign, but it is also an indicator that we could be having a pullback coming soon. So we're going to be watching this one to see if it breaks to the 70 level, which would be a pretty strong indicator that we're about to have a bit of a pullback on the weekly time frame. Gives us a chance to reset and flush out our weekly stochastics RSI momentum, and then we can move up again from there. So just watching the momentum indicators at the moment, seeing where we're at, being aware of our support and resistance levels, and looking for if we're going to bounce here or if this is going to fail. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be back in another couple of days. I will travel a little bit over the next couple of days, so I won't be throwing up a new video probably until early next week. But stay tuned in all the groups in the Discord and on Facebook for post updates. Catch you all then.